early, so.
I didn't even get to count in.
It normally takes. There's like a 3-second delay when we go live, but here we are.
Here we are. It's the really fast Wi-Fi you're on over there.
That's right. Yeah.
Saving the bandwidth. What's going on, guys?
Use up a little more now.
Week 12 preview. It's me, AY, coming to you from the beautiful state capital, the red state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, you can't see him, but he's there. D-Berg, what's up?
Yeah, I'm here. Not even long-time listeners would know that many issues with my connection here at the Villa in Columbus. So I am going no video. We'll see if I drop. Otherwise,
don't dox yourself, Dan.
Yeah, it's just a Villa in Columbus. That's Columbus where? I mean, I haven't even said the state. AY just did, sure.
It's just west. Georgia could be west. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's more than a few Columbus out there. To my east for now, and is it considered Far East over there?
Far East movement.
The Far East, yeah.
Definitely Far East. Soon. Kent, what's up?
Enjoying the last bits of summer here. It's still 68 degrees out there today. Getting back to much more summery feels, it looks like, in the homeland, in the hometown, non-Madison hometown, 86 degrees this week. So that is also the last gasp of summer. I'm looking at the weather for next week over there, 65 and cooler. So their last gasp of summer also a little hotter than here. They're down south over there in the ancestral homeland.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, it is Monday. We are recording early due to homeland visitation, but it's still the preview. This just means the review is a little fresher.
Yes.
Just coming off. Seems like the ending of the Holy War.
Oh, yeah. You were able to stay up for that?
Yeah, I went to bed soon after I texted you guys. It was 21:13. And I was like, I
don't even know if I made it that far. I made it to 1 o'clock after getting out of the parking lot.
I think it was like 1:25. And I was like, you know what? This is a good game, but I really don't care enough. So,
yeah.
I woke up and saw all the drama.
Good dramas, Johnny.
Good drama. I mean, the AD wasn't Mark Warren. He spoke his mind.
I like
BYU, escapability, Miami Juniors. Look, they're going to lose eventually.
Taking the throne from Miami, I would say.
Well, yes, after Miami relinquished it. I don't know if they took it. Neither of those teams took much.
I'll tell you one thing that was taken: the final ball off of Cam Ward and recovered by Van Danberg.
None other.
Friend of the pod. Amazing. When he fell on that ball.
You must have gone wild. I immediately texted you guys.
I was so happy. Just that Miami lost and fumbled, but it was him that recovered it. Amazing.
I can't remember. Did you pick them to win, AY?
On the field, yeah.
On the field. AY knew it.
I mean, I've been picking against them ATS for a month and a half now, so I was bound to get one right.
Yep.
I thought they were going to sneak out another one, though. Holy smokes. So of the two Black Magic darlings.
Oh, yeah.
They both flirted with it again, but only BYU pulled the Houdini.
Yeah, and with the Big 12, anybody could get anybody. Who knows if – I mean, I'm sure they'll have – this isn't going to be their last scare, but as it stands now, Colorado and BYU, just like everybody drew it up in the beginning of the season in the Big 12. I can't wait to see how it shapes up.
Yeah, I'm going to go back right now and look at you hear him talk about the preseason teams and how bad they've been. Let's pull the odds up here on our sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Big 12. K-State and Utah were co-favorites.
Yep. I think Gundage was in there somewhere.
Then Kansas, Zoner, Texas Tech, Iowa State, Gundage, Bounce House, TCU, West Virginia.
Wow.
Colorado was 11th. BYU was second to last.
Amazing. Good job.
120-1 BYU in the preseason.
120-1. Amazing. Let me see the tickets. I can't wait to see the tickets.
The slips will be out there.
Credit to Kansas at least for playing.
Oh yeah,
they haven't been playing bad. They have all these one-score losses, but
yeah,
they've had bad luck.
Putting it together of late. We'll see if they have that. I mean, the spread's 3 this week, so they're still getting some respect there. Iowa State just they're done now. TCU, yeah. And even Arizona State, third to last in the Big 12.
Yeah, they're 4-2 in the cup?
Yeah, they're showing some nice fight this last month.
Yeah. Yep. Sorsby losing to West Virginia, helping out Penn State strength of schedule. I like that. I'm excited. I still think, if Avery Johnson's healthy, Kansas State is the best in there. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I don't know what's going to happen there with the Big 12. It certainly looks like it's going to. Who's Colorado have left?
Nobody good, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I think they.
But nobody is good in the Big 12. So
They BYU gets Kansas this week, and then Colorado gets Kansas the following week.
What if they just went completely execution style? The top 3 teams.
They could just nuke the top 3 teams. Yes, but you heard these rumblings of Big 12 officiating, kind of strong arming. They're rumors. Helping out the Buffs in that Tech game.
Yep.
So you wonder.
I wonder why.
You wonder how that's going to play out. I mean, I know we joked about it with Miami, but it's hard to. I mean, that Va-Tech one was pretty crazy, but they might say, "Hey, if it's close, we got this is the Buffs, man. It's prime time."
Yep.
We'll see. I try not to buy into that stuff, but maybe back of your mind stuff. But yeah, I think Kansas is going to have a say in this Big 12 title race for sure. I still think K-State can sneak on in there and get that auto bid. Can need a little help though.
Let me go flip this laundry so it stops buzzing. I'll be right back.
I was wondering if I was worried the fire alarm was going off.
See elsewhere. Oh, I mean, I guess the main thing was Georgia.
Yeah, not great. I saw the only parts that were good for Georgia, which were the first two drives. The rest was scoreboard watching. And I am quite perplexed. But if you draw the dotted line from some of their other performances, not Texas notwithstanding, not flooring that they didn't pull it out. But I love what they have this. It was like a 16-play, 70-yard drive that ended in an interception on 4th and 10.
I probably watched most of it. It was a pretty solid 3:30 time slot quad box.
Yeah.
Which one did you have? Did you have the?
I had Ole Miss Georgia was bottom left.
Yep, I had that one.
Bottom right was Indiana Michigan.
Yep.
Top left was Kansas
Iowa State. Yep, I had that exact one.
And then top right, the game I watched maybe 3 plays of, but was on for 3 hours, was Clemson, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, that was gross.
I think I never looked at that screen.
That was gross.
I know we mentioned about the Ole Miss pass rush last week and how good they've been, but man, they were even better than on paper. They were just eating all night.
Yeah, that Georgia offense has trouble written all over it. We've talked about how gross Beck has been all year. I don't know what the regression is, if it's just because he doesn't have Ladd and Bowers back there, but it's definitely been huge, the regression, and you have to think, I mean, he was projected top 5 draft pick, right?
Yeah.
What this means, if he was actually do you think he actually was rated that high, or were people not actually? Was it just the pundits saying that? And I wonder what the actual people that make money and make the picks were thinking about him, and if that's changed at all with how bad the season's gone.
I mean, I listened to McShay's podcast fairly regularly. He's one of those guys that I've always enjoyed, and I like the draft process. And he's been talking about Beck's stock this past week plus. And yeah, he's soured a lot.
Yeah.
He said preseason.
I heard him talk about it earlier in the year. Was the? I mean, this is obviously difficult to track and compare, but the accuracy radius, or maybe it's the catch radius, on the Georgia receivers for quite a while has been well above the average. We'll call it.
Really?
which has obviously helped Beck statistically going back to last year even. So even
That's interesting because you're talking about the people catching the ball, so that includes Bowers and everybody, or you're
I'm sure it did,
just the receivers.
I'm sure it included Bowers last year too. Yeah.
Okay.
So the catches they were making were, I guess, a higher degree of difficulty based on where the ball was placed. But that seems a very obviously subjective, unless you've got some really next gen stats, if you will,
right,
to measure those, and then have a whatever metric for that. But that's something I have heard pointed out and I find interesting.
Right.
Yeah, stock's down, and I mean,
are you bought in on Lane here? As I don't know if they'll even make it in with the logjam of teams at the top of the SEC if they continue the way they do and how it breaks down. I couldn't even begin to delve in. I've listened to it talked about. We need a lot of hash to be settled here the next couple of weeks, but be hellacious if all shakes out as it should chalk wise, right?
Very convoluted.
Yeah. I'll tell you, with Lane's team and the way that it can look when it's clicking on all cylinders, I would not want to. That would be a team that I don't want to face in the playoffs if I were a fan of Penn State, which I'm not. But who knows? Maybe they won't get the chance.
I think it was Friday in a thread with guys back home. So somebody was asking, is this Georgia line like fishy? Only laying 2.5 at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think it was Friday. And I said, because I think it was after our pod. And I said to them, they were like, yeah, Georgia. I was like, I lean Ole Miss. I was like, I think Ole Miss could be the best team outside like the big four in the power ratings. And if you look on like Sagarin and
talent-wise, yeah.
If you look at Sagarin, all these rating systems, SP plus, whatever you pick, whatever Vegas ratings, anything, they were like 5th or 6th going into that game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're ranked 16th, and they lost to Kentucky. I was looking at the post game unexpected seeing that stuff. The last play at LSU. Lane's behind it, so you got to factor a little bit into that. Like something's gonna happen, screwy. But talent-wise, yeah, this team is awesome.
I mean, and they really did they had LSU on death's door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, LSU, I don't know. Jackson Dart was the one that said, I don't know how we lost that game because they led for all 60 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Assuming they win out, because again, it's Lane. We don't know. Them, but I think they'll find a way to get in, and you're not going to want to play them. Can anybody beat them? Anybody can beat, not anybody, but any playoff team could beat them, but you're not going to want to play them.
All right. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch from afar on how this 6, it looks like 6-some, maybe 7-some, if you count Missouri, if you're listening to Eli. As far as playoff contenders.
As funny as that was, I mean, I guess he has to say it because no one's talking. No one's
It
saying
is so lame. It's so lame.
It's
so lame.
If he's not going to say it, then no one's going
No,
to.
literally no one's gonna say because it's not true.
But the fact that you said it and it's so ridiculous.
Narduzzi might say it.
Narduzzi would have said it, yeah.
If Pitt beats Klemp this weekend, watch him.
Oh,
say
I
it.
hope he says it. Oh my god.
I'm surprised he didn't say it in this presser.
After calling the ACC the best conference?
Yep.
That's good.
That
Top to bottom, best conference.
that Missouri game, I didn't know. I didn't really watch any of that to the very end, and I saw all of what happened, but I didn't know it was 6-3 at the half.
Yeah, it's 20 points in the last 2 minutes, I think.
So, and SVP mentioned on the pod today that they over under. Like if you had the under there, like that's unbelievable. You lost to. You need all to happen a monster drive by Drew Pine, and then just the sickening OU turnover. But
Gross.
Missouri's still alive. I think they're getting 11 this week to Scar.
Yeah, well, Scar getting all the respect now. The best 6-3 team in the country.
Is this the craziest angle of all time? Double digit,
This is to the extreme, yeah.
unranked,
extreme.
first ranked.
Oh, this and then if you look even I think down the slate, the BYU laying 3 to a 3-6 Kansas team.
Yeah, not officially an angle though.
No, that's just there's got to be some kind of stat on shortest spread between a 9-0 versus at least 6 game difference. This has to be the shortest.
Well, stay tuned for our locks. No, I'm just kidding.
I
I picked out another one for this week.
I know this is completely random and probably should be in news and notes, but Kennesaw State firing their head coach today or yesterday.
Weird.
That's really crappy.
Low blow.
And that's the guy that was their first.
He brought him up.
He was through thick and thin with those guys, that team, that program.
It's pretty fucked up.
That's cold.
That's SEC ball there in Georgia.
I guess, man. It just means more in that area.
Yeah, it just means more. Not to the Buford graduate. What's his name? Jake Pope. Jacob Pope
not a great look. I suppose I get his reasoning for it.
Just don't get caught on camera doing it.
Maybe just tone it down a little bit. But I mean, you're a college kid. I mean, I was watching the game live when Beck was smiling on the side on the bench there. I was like, well,
if he wins, they'll go back and say, that's the calm, cool, and collected, not
oh
phased
yeah,
by being down. Yeah,
sounds like Russell Wilson unlocking whatever receiver anytime he completed a pass on Sunday.
You're not believing yet, Dan. I think they're on the way.
The team has been good. There is no unlocking being done. The team has had good players. I'll say that. I would say they've been good.
Yeah, they've had the pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have here? Noon slate was pretty gross, except for the one game, right, that came down to Miami. Obviously, we've talked about that. Mike Brown not covering there. Unfortunately, that Navy was due.
mm-hmm.
Florida, they did not hang around like they have been the last couple of weeks, and got absolutely pulverized.
I wanted to text you guys and be like, hey, just for the record, I really want to switch this Florida pick. This is like Friday afternoon. I was like,
we could edit it. We could have done the
it's
60 minutes.
It's on the tape, and I don't need Grant coming after.
Oh yeah, you don't need the
But just know, I wanted to switch that pick.
Yeah.
You lean switch, hard lean switch.
Yeah, there were
Yeah,
payoffs
that was-
for me going against Florida and AY going against Miami this past week.
Yeah.
My payoff came with Fane Sig finally.
Yeah.
That would look dicey early,
Yeah.
but then
They
they
kind of
bombed
twirled up there, I think, in the second half.
big time.
Yeah, they definitely. I feel like having not really seen it, but from the
Yeah.
looks of it, sphinctered up.
Right. I definitely did. I'm interested to see 2 weeks now, 10-0 going into Columbus. Top 5 matchup. Should be, right?
I'm excited
I would say
for
the job is done for Signetti, but
I don't know. I know I've been driving the SIG train for years, but
Yeah, I'm not.
I
Do you
think
think? Go
I
ahead,
think he's
sorry.
gonna get. I think they're gonna get steamrolled.
They
They
get
could.
stopped, and they beat Purdue like they usually do. Do you think it's enough with all these 6-2 SEC teams to make it in?
I think they need
A good showing,
a showing.
a showing.
I would say emphatically yes, but we'll see.
So
If they
stoppage
lose
in
by
there.
30,
If there's ever good.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I say if there's ever an instance where the committee breaks its criteria of, you're as good as your worst performance or whatever I said last week, when it comes to Ole Miss losing Kentucky, they would do it to bone Indiana football.
Yeah.
So
They I am of the camp if they do get stopped, if there is stoppage in Columbus, that they'll be on the cutting block. They'll be at the bottom there.
I am stunned to hear that.
But when you look and dive deeper into the resumes, I mean, there's not too much difference unless other than the close loss at home to Ohio State and some stoppage in
Right,
Columbus.
yeah. And it does matter a lot more in football, I feel like, than basketball, because like basketball, you can lose by 30 to a team, or you can lose by 4 to a team, and they might have just shot really well. Whereas football, margin certainly matters more, in my opinion.
Yeah. So interested to see. He's got 2 weeks to cook up a game plan here. It's the Bucks. Bucks, how about that? Who'd have thought they'd play 3 top 5 teams in the country, and one of them not be Michigan in a season?
That's true. Line right now, yeah,
Is it like 11?
9.5.
9.5. May have to grab some of that look ahead line if it's out there.
I don't know if I could do it just out of.
I have to do it before.
I might just sneakily do it.
Before I leave. What else do we have here? Colorado with the tortillas. You guys see the tortillas?
They were flying.
Yeah, impressive win, I guess. They got down early, 13-0, and came back and took care of business. Easy win for them. And in the capper seat, like we were talking about, South Carolina, we saw. And then, have we talked about the beatdown in the Bayou? Or do we need to? Do we need to?
I don't think so, no.
Do you think this is the beginning of the end for Kelly? Because I know that they were writing it off. They were going to be all right with a decent season, a 9-3 season, like it looks like they're headed for, and no playoffs because they dumped all that money into recruiting and getting Underwood. Well, what happens if they don't get Underwood now? It's interesting because they didn't have enough money to go get some of those players they needed. The defensive tackle that ended up going to Oklahoma or whatnot. There were some pieces that they could have gotten, I think, if they weren't planning for the future like they are now. I'm very interested to see how this plays out. And weren't many times BK really didn't get shellacked like this when he had halfway decent Notre Dame teams, right? Unless you're counting playoffs or something like that.
The one two that come to mind were the Miami game.
Oh yeah, 2017.
And you got stomped at Michigan 2 years later in that monsoon.
Yeah, that was in 2017 after Penn State had beaten, or 2018.
I want to say 2018.
One of those ones. It was after Penn State had beaten them, right? Penn State had beaten Michigan, and then Michigan came out and beat Notre Dame good, I think.
It was right in that window, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the two that come to mind, at least, as far as like just stompage.
Yeah.
Well, outside of the Bama game.
Exactly, outside of the playoffs and national title game. They could not stop the running quarterback, and they still cannot. And it looks like the board just went into the bye week and was like, "We're just gonna ride Milrow here." And they don't have. They've got a bad Oklahoma team and a bad Auburn team, and one of their Sun Belt SEC Challenge teams here up for the last 3 games of the year. I forget how the tiebreakers work, but I think they've got a decent path to the SEC championship. So after all the consternation and hemming and hawing over DeBoer's attire and not wearing suits and not taking it serious enough, it looks like they're well on their way, unless something really funny happens here against Oklahoma or Auburn, right?
Yeah. Just like you mentioned 20 minutes ago, that just blob of SEC, I don't know how it's going to play out.
We got one game that should maybe sort it out a little bit this weekend.
Scar in Missouri.
Yes, that one.
Yes.
Getting Eli out of there.
And it could get even more complicated after Thanksgiving with that A&M Texas game.
I can't wait to see that. The one scenario I've seen thrown out there is if Texas loses to Texas A&M, if Texas can make it in, because they would not have any good wins really at that point. Their best wins that Michigan win, which is terrible.
Should they be left out?
They have a Michigan win and a Florida win.
Yeah, I mean
They got stomped at home to Georgia, who could potentially be a 3-loss team, right?
Who's Georgia's 3rd loss?
If they could potentially, if they lose to Tennessee this weekend,
or to Haynes King,
yeah,
or Haynes King
and Van Danberg.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
I am excited to see how that mess plays out.
Well, if Texas loses Texas A&M, that'd be hilarious.
That's probably what I want the most. Yeah,
that would be hilarious to see because, I mean, Texas would not have had a good win really all year, right? And Notre Dame SOS improved with that as well.
I know we have a few weeks for that, but you saw what Georgia's D-line did to Texas. A&M is maybe better than Georgia's D-line.
Really? With Scorton?
It might be. I mean, them, Ole Miss, Scar. Those probably the four best D-lines are probably those 4 in the SEC.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Nothing too crazy, I don't think, this week, though. We saw Miami go down and Georgia go down, so another 2 top 5 teams going down. It's just another ho-hum weekend in 2024 college football. It's been exciting. I've enjoyed a lot of it. Dan, I guess we could go over ours. Why you want to jump in first? Yours might take the least time.
I would think, your 2 would be
quick. I think the only thing I thought of this earlier, what I wanted to say was, so I watched the first half with FSU Michael.
Oh.
We were it was his birthday, so we went out for some beers.
What a gift.
And
what a gift this whole season has been, the whole year.
He's been I mean, obviously it's rough, but he's been good with it. Not good with it, but
I'm sure he's passed on from it.
He's been alive for multiple titles. I mean, what the hell is this guy?
Yeah, he's fine. From that game, I think the thing that encapsulates Florida State is Notre Dame was up 14-3 late second quarter. Offense was kind of bogged down a little bit. Riley was a little off, overthrowing guys. 4th and 10, we're going to trot out Jeter for a 52-yard field goal after He missed one by like 50 yards the first time. Norvell calls a timeout. Michael goes, "Watch, you're gonna go for this now." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I don't want to kick this field goal." And Freeman sends out the offense, and Florida State, Notre Dame picks it up, and there's a flag on the play. Florida State, two men on the field. They had 13 guys on the field off a timeout that they called.
Just
one extra like DB, and one guy was still back under the goalpost to catch a field goal when the offense is on the field.
Oh, God.
They put the counter up, and there's like number 13 was way off the screen.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Oh my God! That reminds me of the play. Did you see the play 2 weeks ago? I think it was, or maybe it was. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago where they had 14. Somebody ran 14 players on the field, and it was there were two people trying to snap the ball at the same time. Like a guy went to try to snap the ball, and there's an actual long snapper snapping the ball for the field goal. And then the guy that tried to snap the ball just lines up next to the guy in between, the guy snapping the ball and the guard. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. 14. How do you get 4? Unbelievable. Like they had a whole second line of people that were getting ready to execute a field goal. But I don't think we've ever seen, and we will ever see something like this top 10 team fall to these depths of despair. News and notes. I mean, we're diving into a little bit earlier on than we usually do.
Oh, Kent, I broke it down for you on Sunday.
What's that?
It's the Auburn.
No, this is. You can't go from top 10 to 1-9 in 1 year.
But they're going to go they'll win 2, maybe 3 games, which is what Auburn.
That is lower depth than. That's what I'm saying. This is lower than Auburn.
But Auburn also went higher.
Yeah, they went higher. Sure. But they fell to 5-6 or 5-7. That's nowhere near 1-9 here.
No, I'm saying they won 3-9 2 years after going 14-0, winning all.
Yes,
that was pretty bad.
That's bad. Though I don't think they were even top 10 though coming out of that year. I think they were like a 15 maybe preseason coming out.
Spare me with the preseason rankings.
Well, I'm saying preseason top 10.
Yeah.
Down to where they are, but yeah, the news and notes they're getting rid of the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator over there. They can't get rid of Norvell because of that.
Yeah, Michael said he said Saturday night that he figured it would be either after this game or they'd have to wait till after the Florida game.
To get rid of the coordinators, get rid of Norvell.
Yeah, get rid of the coordinators.
Yeah,
he said Norvell's not going anywhere.
Yeah, he can't. He's got like a $73 million buyout or something like that. He's got Jimbo buyout.
Yeah.
Buyout.
But he was, and then sure enough, 16 hours later, the coordinators are out. Yeah.
Atkins, they were saying these guys were head coaching candidates last year, and they, in less than 12 months, get fired. It's amazing.
You got to be careful.
But I was listening to some stuff about it this week, and because of everything and the revenue sharing coming up, like they're not going to be able to. There's going to be like 2 coaches in the Power 5 getting fired this year. Nobody's going to get fired this year.
Yeah.
The cell is going to be dead. I'm not going to know what to do with myself when I come back from China.
You start rooting for the Devil's Army.
Yeah, exactly. I'll dive in here real quick. I won't go too deep. Penn State jumped out real early and often. I think they try to make it a point of working on that goal line offense and pounding it in, though, for most Penn State fans, a daylight a dollar short, a lot of sarcastic cheers up there in the crowd with being able to punch it in with the Wild Fat Ass, with Tyler Warren, and then the final touchdown of the game was Katron Allen. Drew looked great, as he has been looking good for the last couple of weeks. Really dialed up, had some nice passes. Wide receivers had a pretty good game. I think Harrison Wallace had like 80 yards, probably his best game since the opening game. and Drew had his first touchdown pass to a wide receiver. Jules coming through. It looks like Dave finally got in his ear to give him a pep talk and came through with a touchdown, his first one as an Nittany Lion. Overall, good. It looked like a team that came out and had a plan for what to do and executed it. Did not need to worry about any type of a hangover after the Ohio State game. I think it bodes well for what's to come. And I think they continue with this type of focus. They shouldn't have an issue with finishing out the season as they want to at 11-1 and then seeing where the chips fall. So looking forward to it. Nick Singleton didn't play the second half of the game. It's something they said it's minor. It's not something major. They said today in the press conference. So hoping that he'll be able to rest, maybe not even play that much against Purdue here. Hopefully they won't need him. I think it might be a sign of bigger issues if they do need him against Purdue. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, and then on to Purdue and further.
Having played two things from this game. One, it's the second time this year you hear things from respected players in Vegas that just like it rings like a certain way, the way they say it. And I had heard on Friday that it was late with Penn State or pass, but there was like hinting at just lay it.
Yeah.
The first time I heard that this year, I hear it a few times a year. The first time I heard that this year was Notre Dame Navy.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, these are like, I don't know, just these weird. There's a few times a year you hear these things, and they just no doubters. Second thing, I want to, having played both of these teams, I want to see Florida State play Purdue.
That would be a good game.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know who is worse.
Well, Purdue took Illinois to overtime, right?
Purdue would definitely carry more momentum into the matchup.
Yeah.
As bad as Florida State has been, they haven't really gotten like blown out until this weekend.
It's true. They played Carolina close-ish. Duke was close.
Georgia Tech was close. I mean, yes, obviously they're not good, but I mean, you are right. Like Purdue isn't taking teams like 50 spot on Burt. Like they've shown a little more fight, but I still think it'd be a good game.
I think it would be a great game.
Penn State absolutely just throttled.
Are you laying it? 28.5.
Oh, against Purdue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy can.
Jimmy.
He's got to make up for some of the.
Jimmy can name it. I think this is one of those where you take Penn State first quarter, halftime. you just play the ladder here.
I think this might be the fourth turnover I've seen this half. Almost. Miami and Los Angeles turnover. Yeah, turnover fest over here.
I'm just locked in this 3-2, 5 minutes to go in the third.
Big matchup on the puck.
Dan, what do I need? What happened with Calamity?
No, yeah, I mean Virginia.
We lost him.
The time we need him the most.
We lost him.
I didn't catch much of it. I didn't even get to watch the highlights yet. I was just out and about.
I saw a controversial play or call from the refs at one point.
Haven't gotten around to these yet. I'll probably get to these tomorrow. I don't think Musket got in. We'll have to find out from Dan when he gets back.
Yeah.
I saw Chris Tyree scored. He's thinking revenge next week.
Where is he now?
Virginia.
Oh. I didn't even know he was there.
He hasn't been doing
Was he
much.
somewhere before? Yes, you're back.
All right, yeah, that was fortuitous lack of bandwidth.
Yeah.
Virginia's not good. But Holstein, I actually missed watching the first half of this. Was it a interesting dinner and I'll just leave it at that. And I turned it on. I guess Holstein had just got hurt again, and Nate Yarnell, bless his heart, coming in there throwing two of the worst interceptions, just truly as if they were playing a game of jackpot. And Pitt's defense so it's Virginia's second to last field goal drive, or second to last drive where they end up kicking a field goal to go up 5 from 2 points. I mean, just seeing it probably 15 times this year. Pitt blitzes 6-7 guys and gives up a 3rd and 15. How they don't just picket fence whatever it was, the 35-yard line, the 40-yard line, I'll never understand. So, and then on the final drive, the second of the aforementioned jackpot interceptions that were thrown up there by Yarnell. It was tough too because I think I saw all the bad parts. I can't imagine the first half looked great because they weren't really moving the ball well, but they did get a couple of turnovers. And I think from the second I turned the TV on, it was bad. So yeah, I mean, obviously disappointing with the way. I mean, the theoretical implications, which I'll call them, which is all they really were after the way they played against SMU, but the theoretical implications of Miami losing, and then to come out and have that disappointing of a loss.
It's a bummer. What do you make of the call at the end of the game?
What's that?
What do you make of the call at the end of the game from the?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's weird, but I mean, it's there are very, very few instances, and I've seen some of them over the years, where you can pinpoint I mean, obviously the infamous one to me is the Oklahoma State Central Michigan game from back in 2016, where they literally won the game. Oklahoma State did, and then
right,
yeah,
it was over if they had called it right. So, yeah. But other than that, I don't. It was a tough call, I suppose. You know, it's. Did you see the pass that he threw on the next drive when they were going to have to score points anyway? You know, it's kind of one of those situations. Right. Maybe they obviously call it; they were not as rushed, but yeah, it's tough loss, and we'll see how hopefully the wheels don't come completely off. But they did lose Holstein went out, and then their number one receiver, Kenny Johnson, went out in the game. So that doesn't help matters when your team that's not really pulverizing teams of any kind. Calandria played the whole game. No musket sighting.
Yeah. No, I checked it. I was checking the score, and I saw Harrison had that pass, and I was like, "Who the hell is Harrison? That's not musket."
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if Musket makes an appearance on Saturday.
I would venture to guess he will.
Mix it up. All right.
This is not going to be the shortest podcast in history, for the record. 3 minutes.
We took it extra on the front end because this back end
should be fast.
We will be speeding through this for sure. News and notes. It's Monday. Rankings come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
A whole new four new fun matchups to look at for the first round.
Yeah, for another time.
That's
before next week.
Hell. Sharks goal with 2 minutes to go.
Damn.
The Suck Bowl. We're staring down OT. Okay. Anyways. 10-piece here. Don't look now. We're heating up. All over 500 last week. Let's see if we can keep it going. Start off. I put these lines together this morning, and 2 of them had 3-point moves in like 6 hours. And this is one of them. Texas, Arkansas.
Ooh.
Down to 13.5. The Hogs are getting at home in Fayetteville. Full disclosure, I haven't looked into any of these yet. I do reference Game on Paper in Sagarin for my info. I'm going to. I'm just going to blindly take the Pitman here.
Pitman.
Yeah, I know they got drubbed at home against Ole Miss, so have some pride here. Taylor Green figured out. Hogs. Texas wins.
I agree. I think we got the explosion from Texas last week, and we'll get the recede back, and Pittman with a pretty good offense, so he should be able to keep up with them a little bit. I think maybe it's a backdoor there at the end, but I think they sneak in there at the 13.5. Let's say, 13-point loss. So I'll go 35-23. Yeah.
I think the Pitman has officially turned into a pumpkin. I'm going Texas to win by more than 13.5.
Yeah, that's fair. AAC battle. Possible total game berth on the line here. Tulane, Navy. Navy catching 6.5 at home, bouncing back against Mike Brown last week.
Yeah.
Tulane, pretty good team.
Yeah.
Great running back. Makai Williams?
Their quarterback's name always cracked me up. What is it again? Something funny.
Let's see, Tulane.
Darian Mensa.
The Mensa, yeah. The Mensa.
I don't know why I was calling him Menshew.
No, he's the Mensa. The what's that? The really
Bob
smart
Spencer
people.
Bonsu.
The Mensa is the really smart people, isn't it?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Makai Hughes is the running back.
Hughes.
I want the craziness of Army Navy playing back-to-back weeks or scheduled to play back-to-back weeks, but I'm taking the Green Wave.
The Green Wave.
Yeah, Navy 5-1 in conference. Tulane 6-0. Army 7-0. So if Navy gets this in the driver's seat for the back-to-back, I am going to say they do not get it. No, I think Tulane's pretty good actually.
As do I.
I'm going to go Tulane. I'm going to take Tulane to cover here as well.
Yeah.
I'm
taking Tulane to cover that Navy performance a couple weeks ago against Rice has really spooked me. Though not against USF. I think they come back down to earth again after that. That performance, and it's not too hard to have that performance against someone like Mike Brown and the Bulls. This is an interesting game, I think. Florida LSU. Not for playoff implications, anything like that. Will Lagway be back? I don't know.
I would have to say yes based on the line, right?
Right. Though Lagway can't run, which is LSU's defense's kryptonite. So I think it's a little too tight here. I think you'll see a similar performance from LSU that you saw against Arkansas. Defense should be able to take care of business. And then, you can't let Florida hang around too long. I got a 10-point win here by LSU. I'll go 31-21.
Yeah, Louisiana special and back-to-back picks here for me. I'm just going to keep going against Florida at this point. I'm going to keep the bit to the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm jumping off Florida here. They've been playing hard and everything, which I respect. I like that, but we said it enough times. Kelly, he's a track record. He wins these games.
All right.
Big news here. Both sides of the offenses, both offenses, Nebraska, USC, Holgerson joined the program 2 weeks ago as a analyst, helping hand. Now all of a sudden he's thrust into the fire as OC. The rest of the year. And Maeva taking over quarterback duties for Miller Moss and USC.
A lot of interesting pinch hitters here.
Yeah.
Line seems way too high. What am I missing?
Yeah, this is simple for me. This line looks too high. USC plays one-score games where they win or lose, and Nebraska seemingly can't get out of their own way for the last few years, but they do play hard and close. So I will take these points, and I don't know who's going to win. I'll say USC wins by 3. They find a way to win a close game, and Maeva is the bee's knees for a few weeks.
Well, Nebraska definitely finds ways to lose close games, so I like that. I will also take the points. I'll take a 7-point win here for USC.
Trojans for me. I have no idea why it'd be 9, not like 5.5, 6.
No CFP rankings, which we usually note on our sheet this time of year. Missouri is ranked in the AP, and they are getting 11 to an unranked South Carolina team. Beamer was not happy. They could not have a live mascot last week, which is a bird. LSU had a replacement tiger.
Have they said why?
I don't know. I didn't really look into it. They definitely might have. I just saw he was unhappy. 11 points here for playoff conversation, Missouri. No, I'm gonna lay him. Give me Scar.
This is the jumbo angle. Scar shoved it up my keister last week when I picked the doors, and I guess I owe it to him and the angle to go Scar here. Sorry, Pine.
I'm going Scar. I'm going Scar here. I think.
You love Scar. I'm gonna get you a beanie.
Yeah, no, I actually do hate Scar because Penn State goes against him every now and then in the recruiting trail. I hate Missouri and I can't. So I'll go Lenoris here. Lenoris the creator, and I'm going Scar here. Laying the points. 2 touchdown win for them.
Sweep for Scar.
All on Scar. Sneaky game here. Spread seems a little high to me. Arizona State playing pretty nice ball lately against K-State, catching 9 in the Little Apple. Both teams 7-2.
K-State coming off a bye, right?
K-State, yeah.
I think Arizona State might be smelling themselves a little too much. We don't know. Scadaboo should be coming back, right? He was close to coming back this past game, but didn't play. Still got the win. I will take Kansas State off the bye here to cover. 10-point win for them, 31-21. Again, I think second time I picked that today.
I'm going Cats as we just sang their praises of being the most viable playoff participant while not having a remotely clear path to representing the conference.
Not controlling their own destiny.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you guys. That's why I'm taking Arizona State, because the Big 12 makes no sense.
Yeah.
They don't. It does not make sense in that conference.
I don't even know who I think K-State, but I'll just take the points.
Yep.
Tennessee, Georgia, the game day game. Look, Georgia's at home. Tennessee off the Nico Iamaleava appears to have escaped a broken collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, their main part is Dylan Sampson and that defense.
He's out.
But he's also hurt as well.
Mm-hmm. Then you got the whole Georgia aura of recent years.
Yeah, they've had trouble against him. There's so many points here, but I think one, you could get an angry Georgia team, but how angry can that offense get? And are you scared of an angry Georgia offense? I don't think so. So the question, especially against Pierce and that defense, it's very good defense. Can Georgia get a 10-point lead? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Nico's supposed to be back here. I'll take the points here, but I don't feel good about it. Mainly taking it because I don't like that Georgia offense at all against this defense. So I'll take a closer game than what these experts think. I'll take Georgia to win outright, though.
I'm going Georgia 31-13.
I can for sure see that, but I think I'm going with Ken here for exactly what he said. I don't feel good about it. I'm going to respect this defense of Tennessee, and I get the angry Georgia, which is real. The defense could just do it for them, help them out, but
like that Texas game, I mean, you look at the actual
right
offensive output there; they didn't do shit in that.
Yeah,
in that game.
I think Tennessee's D is really good.
Yeah,
and if they just feed Samson for, assuming he's healthy, for 30 plus carries to the air of the ball a little bit, I don't think Georgia's ever truly in trouble here, but Tennessee keeps it within 10.
Yep.
So if you're watching, it could be close, but it's probably going to feel a little more out of grasp.
Total 48.5.
Oh, that seems a little high to me. We'll see if Beck turns it over a little bit.
To up the scoring.
Kansas, BYU in Provo.
Finally.
BYU laying 3.
Hell yeah, I'm going Lightpool again. First underdog on the picks here that I'm taking.
Really?
Yep.
And going chalk.
They ride the magic, which did not work for me with Texas Tech, mind you, last week.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't really even magic for Kansas against Iowa State. They kind of just whooped them.
Yeah. I'll go Kansas also here. I think they ride the Lightning as well.
That's like someone who's 7 years old right now is going to look at this at 15 years like, what the heck? Like, how did 3-6 Kansas beat number 7 BYU? Had to be there.
Yeah, this line is weird. I know BYU's power ratings in the 30s, so I guess it does make sense. Like, they didn't look. They haven't.
30 is probably harsh at this point, but
I agree. I think at this point that is a little harsh. I think it should be in the 20s, but nothing higher than that. Daniels has been cooking lately. I'm going to take BYU to win by 4.
all right.
Okay.
I'm excited to dig into this game during the week.
Could be some, if you're listening here, it could be some Twitter corrections if it was.
Yeah.
I might text you guys today. I want to switch.
Some publications on the Twitter sphere.
I'll take BYU. I do not feel good about it. All right, Dan. Are we doing it? Are we doing the upset here?
No, I don't. I was speaking of lack of updates. I don't know what Holstein's status is. I mean, you can't, in good conscience, watch those footballs Nate Yarnell threw and pick Pitt to win this. I went back and forth on whether to take them to cover or not. I don't even know. Let me do a quick Google here at Kenny Johnson as well. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. 2 months ago, Kenny Johnson wows Panthers fans with a great catch. That's not exactly Don Best material. Yeah, I think I'll be intrigued we'll go 2.5 quarters. Maybe, because what was that? Clemson was losing 7-0 at halftime, right, against Virginia Tech?
Yes, off the block kick, Beamer ball.
Yeah. Feels like a little 28-17 to me. The narrow cover for the Tigers, but maybe that could be they're up 28-10, and then, the little the impressive garbage time offense that Pitt Pitt ran against SMU comes into play. 54.5 is the total. I don't think Klemp has really any. They're not down anybody that significant from what I've been, I guess, mentally keeping tally of. So that 28-17 feels right to me. Yeah, but I have no. I mean, I don't even want to really spend too much time on it. If I don't know what the deal is going to be at quarterback. And I will add though that it's tough because of this. Not that it would have mattered against SMU, but Holstein's initial injury took place against Syracuse when they were up by 20-some points. But I actually get why they kept them out there because the offense was barely on the field in the first half, really the whole game against Syracuse, and then they'd come off a bye or partial bye, and it's just one of those unlucky things that if you're going to ride the lucky parts, you have to kind of live with the unlucky parts of the season that almost every team is insured to come in contact with. Unless you're TCU in 2022 or BYU so far this year or Miami up until last week. So that's what I got, 28-17.
Yeah, I think it'll be a similar game to how they played against Virginia Tech again on the road.
Yeah.
It'll be nip and tuck there for a couple of quarters, and I think eventually you'll get a mistake here and there, and it's not going to be like snowball where they'll blow them out, but I think it'll get you the separation you need for if you're Dabo or a Clemson fan. And I'll lay the points here with them.
I'm hoping they're looking ahead to the Citadel, if I'm being honest. That's going to happen.
Yep. Hey, why? You're getting back on the train here and backing them?
Oh, you know it. I think it's a good spot here. Look, Pitt's kind of.
It's not really super weapony though.
I don't want to say they're
left for too good of a season to be super weapony.
Yeah, they
agreed.
I should say that they have too many wins to be super weapony. I don't know if they've had that good of a season, but they have too many wins.
Agreed, but they are a bit left for dead after the last two games. Klemp, seems like forever ago we're talking about them just steamrolling teams, and then we found out they didn't play anybody when they played the Ville. Even last week against the three plays I saw in the quad box, I know they handled Virginia Tech, but it's just one of those spots. I'm taking the points for sure.
All right. Most outcomes will not surprise me in this game.
Yep.
Over to Irish Virginia.
Dan, give the scouting report to AY.
I did. I said they're not good. And Calandria played the whole game. That's really it.
Calandria likes to sling it around.
I don't know that we dive too much deeper into Zima football than that.
I think he's gonna hit. He'll probably hit a big pass. He's gonna get picked off. I would think a few times the way he slings it and the way Notre Dame's DBs are aggressive and pretty good. Howard Cross out for this game. D tackle, ankle injury. They said he could have returned last game. They showed him on the sideline. Will it look like an air cast? So they said it was just tape. So it was that much tape. I have not seen that much tape on an ankle before. That was incredible. He is out for this week. Donovan Heinisch played great last week, stepping in. So we'll see that front.
Central Catholic product.
There you go. Angeli touchdown pass last week too.
Wow. Oh, nice.
I
hope Gary was watching.
I'll dig more into the game during the week. 23 is a lot. I'm not real high on Virginia. Chris Tyree revenge game. Senior day. Could be a little slow start. Notre Dame has been rolling since Miami, Ohio. The Louisville game was close for sure, but they've been just blowing teams out. So that's got to come to an end sooner or later. It could be this week, but
They're pushing
I'm
the
not
pillars.
gonna-
They got to impress the committee.
I'm not going to step in front of it yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to keep these good vibes going, and just know inside my guard is up. But on air, let's say they keep rolling behind this defense, and Notre Dame wins 34-10.
Yeah, I'm tiptoeing in front of it. I'm saying on the arm of 70 Calandria passes, it's 42-20 Irish.
Wow. I could definitely see that score.
20 points, I'd be upset.
If you throw Calandria 70 times.
But no, I mean, yeah.
I'll go 42-14.
Maybe they're going to start prepping for Army's offense a week ahead of time.
Possibly.
And then Calandria sneaks a couple by them.
They prepped Army the first week of the bye week. The first
okay.
before the bye.
They're looking ahead. They were looking ahead.
2-3 days.
Showing no respect to Florida State.
I guess, yeah, they were working on Army before Florida State week.
I won't dive in too deeply here. I don't think I need to. Purdue probably, or not probably, is the worst team in the Big Ten. Quite possibly one of the worst teams in all of Power 5. I'll lay the points here.
Yep.
Jimmy trying to impress. So let's see what the weather is in West Lafayette this weekend.
That's the only thing slowing you down. Although you are a bad weather team, we've established for years on end now.
Right. West Lafayette, Indiana is. Did you know there's a West Lafayette in Ohio as well?
There is any other place on earth there is in Ohio.
Yeah. Ohio non-original. Saturday, 58 degrees and clear. I'll lay it, and I'll go Penn State 52 to 3, just like Notre Dame did this past weekend.
Well, Notre Dame beat them 66-7, so we'll see if you guys.
I thought it was 52 to 3.
Oh no, I'm saying beat Purdue 66.
Oh no, I'm saying just like Purdue did this past weekend.
Yeah,
just like Notre Dame did this past weekend.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, considering this is. I don't
think Penn State could get 42 points in the first half. Is the issue?
This was my second choice of lock. So yeah, I mean I think Penn State is going to cover this in the first half.
I'd like that. I just bet the 15.5. So
15.5 first half line. Okay.
Yeah, it's bizarrely low on FanDuel. It's with no juice either. It's at -108. Everywhere else is 16.5 at the lowest with like 120 juice.
Maybe I'll just give out a.
You could put Penn State for me, Ken. We all picked Penn State a half hour ago.
Maybe I'll give out a double barrel lock, parlay it.
Wow.
Dan on the board for locks, which we've been heating up.
Yeah, the race tightening up.
Yep.
Actually, no, it remains where it was last week because we all won.
Percentage-wise, tightening up.
True.
Dan, you're on the board. You're going Georgia State, -2.5, -2.5.
Yeah, that one doesn't look right at all that they'd be favored.
Are they home this week?
They are home for Arky State. Wasn't there something that what was the win probability? Were they a surprising win earlier in the year or a shocking loss during the year?
Arky State?
Do you remember? This was featured like week 3, but for you.
Yeah, Arkansas State was like a 3% win probability against was it Central Missouri?
I don't think they have a football team.
pull up because I am on SP Plus right now. I do reference that for my locks. Arkansas State post-game win expectancy against Central Arkansas
Oh, Central Arkansas.
was
Okay.
7.9%.
There you go. Hence the reason why Georgia State would be favored by 2.5 points against a team that looks much better by virtue of the records.
They beat Troy 3 weeks ago, and had a 35% win probability.
The Masters illusion.
They beat South Alabama with a 31% win probability. And they beat Tulsa with a 14% win probability. So this team absolutely is fraudulent.
Yep.
Nice pick. Ken, you're on the board as well.
Yeah, I'm taking your leftovers. If you're leaving it on the table, I will take Penn State minus 28.5.
It's a good pick. I'm just looking up SP Plus. When's that Georgia State Arkansas State game? All right, I'm going with. So as I mentioned a few times before, I referenced SP Plus. Look for the biggest projected margin of victories, and every week it's freaking metric darlings. A double meaning this week for me. Triple meaning. Going back to the well again. We're going JMU.
Oh,
They've been so good to me. As everyone knows, probably sick of it by now, but they're so good to me. Laying 4 at Old Dominion, Cairns boy, Ricky Rani.
wow.
I have the ODU win total under, so I need this loss for the Monarchs. SP Plus is this game at 15.
What's the over/under? 5.5?
No, 4.5. I need to lose out.
Oh, they got to lose out.
They stole. Was it Georgia Southern? They stole a game a few weeks ago that I was freaking pissed about. But yeah, I'm going JMU. They're up to -4 now on the road. So I don't like laying road points, but we're doing it.
All right.
Old Dominion, yeah, Georgia Southern. Oh no, it was the Texas State game they stole. Did not see that coming. So we got Penn State minus 20.5, Georgia State minus 2.5, JMU -4.
Looking now, it may come down to the
Arkansas State game.
Arkansas State game. What a bow.
I feel good with Marshall next week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Still got a few win totals alive. Yeah, we'll check in later on. There you have it. Week 12 preview in the books. Soft slate, so you know something's going to happen.
Oh, I hope it's just not in West Lafayette.
Yeah, everyone just.
Oh God.
That would be.
I would stay in China for the rest of my life if that happened.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't even imagine.
I wouldn't come back.
If you lost to Purdue,
I wouldn't come back.
Will you be able to keep up with the game at all?
I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to or not.
Middle of the
I
night.
should be jet lagged still at that point, so I could be up at 3:30 and watching.
I don't think you need to be, but that would.
I don't need to be. I could be up, is what I'm saying.
That would be a quite the wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing. So there you have it. Week 12 in the books. We will see you guys next week for week 13. Not sure what day it's going to be, but it'll pop up.
At some point.
At some point.
For me, AY from the beautiful state capital of the rest of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. To my west, Deberg.
Good night, all.
And Can to my east, soon to be farther.
Good night, Al.
Enjoy the trip, Can. Everyone else, have a good week. We'll see you next week.